What's up? This is MLDF Network. I'm your host, Rod Murray, and also coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars for your 2016 season. We will be providing exclusive coverage all year long from every week, from all your close games, your game matchups, top 10 plays, as well as interviews from multiple coaches throughout this league. So just be with us. Enjoy the show. What's up, MLDF Network? Today is August 4th, 2016. I am your host and coach of Jacksonville Jaguars, Rod Murray. Let's get into it. So we'll pick up where we left off. The 2015 season ended with the San Diego Chargers defeating the St. Louis Rams in the Super Bowl. After the Super Bowl, a lot of things has happened that's leading us up into this 2016 season. First thing, you had a mad scramble of coaches. You had the defending NFC champions coach Travis Simmons bolt and head back home to Baltimore Ravens and see if he can bring that same excitement, same magic that led him to the Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens. You had the former Baltimore Ravens coach, myself, jump shift and head back to Jacksonville. So back now to coach that's leading defense led by incoming rookie Jalen Ramsey. It's going to be exciting to see what he does. He's also had multiple cornerstone cornerbacks get franchise tag to return to their home team, some being Josh Norman, Casey Hayward, as well as Sean Smith for the Oakland Raiders. He'll be going back to Kansas City. It'd be nice to see what happens to these players throughout this year, what impact they make on their team, and what they could have done with their future team now. You've also had multiple free agent signings, biggest one being out of Texas. Houston has got a new quarterback in Brock Osweiler, and it'd be fun to see exactly what he does. Is he capable of leading that charge of those young wide receiver core and that exciting team? It's going to be fun to look forward to see what happens to it and how the season goes from there. But those are just a couple of things that happen in the offseason, and we'll be sure to cover more in upcoming episodes. With Madden quickly approaching, Madden has dropped a lot of the top 5 ratings for each position. On the offensive side of the ball, here's your list. As you can see, the list is pretty consistent and it hasn't changed much. I want to highlight Aaron Rodgers, who consistently over the last 5 years has continued to be a top 5 quarterback. Aaron Rodgers doesn't disappoint this time, with it coming in at an overall rating of 96 and the various attributes. His throw power maintains consistency as well as his accuracy. He's going to be a problem for Green Bay and any defense that they play against. At the wide receiver position, Antonio Brown highlights a stellar cast of wide receivers in the top 5. However, it's kind of hard to beat that 97 overall that he has. This year's significance, he's a lot faster than what he was last year. So it'd be keen to see how that Pittsburgh team uses him and see if he can take the top off a lot of defenses. Last but not least, on the offensive side of the ball, you got the cover boy, Rob Gronkowski, who comes in at a 99 overall. Not much you can say about it besides he's a playmaker, and look forward to New England using him as much as they can to get him the ball and make sparks happen. On the defensive side of the ball, here's your top 5. Of this, J.J. Watt pulls at a 99 overall. Similar to Rob Gronkowski, the question is, what can this man not do? He's all over the field, can make plays happen. His high block share attribute is going to be a problem for defenses, and it's going to be cool to see what he can do. Von Miller comes in second. The Super Bowl MVP does not disappoint, also his 99 overall rating. Across the board, his attributes are stellar. It's going to be important to see how Denver uses him with that secondary that's going to be a problem in this year's game. Lastly, rounding out the group of 99 overalls is Luke Kuechly out of Carolina. And middle linebacker, this man is the eyes and ears of the defense that he's on, and he leads the charge to see if Carolina can once again reach the Super Bowl in the MLDF or make the playoffs for that matter. His 99 overall is led behind his awareness, which is very, very high, and his catching ability, which surprisingly is high as well. So if he gets his hand on the ball, he's definitely going to catch him. But those are your ratings for the Madden 2017. All right, MLDF Network. I'm here joining live with the commissioner of the league, Mr. David Downs. How you doing, sir?
Doing great, Ron. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So I just wanted to get you on the first episode, talk about a couple things, and just kind of pick it off. Starting off with the man of the league, just to get his take on how the league's going and stuff. So let's jump right into it. How did you get this league started? How did you guys begin, and how did you take off?
Yeah, absolutely. So the league started back with a couple friends back in Wisconsin. There were about 5 or 6 of us, I believe. We did it offline. Of course, it was offline franchise back then. You didn't have online yet. So we would just get together every week after our weekly soccer game. And we were in a soccer league together. And we first pick one team just like we do now. And we just play one game a week, just in tune with the actual football schedule. And, as years go by and people kind of be moved, but kind of relocated, and people kind of go their own ways, I found different people to fill in the spots and whatnot. And kept all the stats archived and whatnot to build kind of a history for our league. And eventually it just got to a point there in the mid to late 2000s when online franchises became a possibility, that I decided just to take it online and try to grow this thing as large as possible. And so here we are now. We're at 31 people as of today. Hopefully looking for 32nd to complete our league, to have a full league this year again. And that's we've come a long way, I believe, since 5 or 6 little kids in my living room back in the late 90s.
I hear you, man. It's just a testament of y'all commitment to the game and everything. To have 31 users before the game takes off, man, that's a great accomplishment. So I hope, as being a user of the league myself, that we can get that 30-second player, get that 30-second user for that last team, and we can fill this league out for the year to come. Now, there's a lot of Madden leagues out there. They're all over the blog sites. They're all over the discussion boards. What makes the Major League Digital Football League the one you want to be in?
Well, what makes the MLDF different from other leagues is that while a lot of other leagues focus on trying to get as many seasons into a short time span as possible, make you play maybe 3 or 4 games a week at times, our league is slower paced. That's done for a reason, because we all have lives. We're all grown people. Some of us, like yourself, you have a child. You're active duty military. We have people in this league who are lawyers. We have real estate agents. We have caregivers. We have all kinds of people from all different kinds of walks of life who actually have lives, but we still love our football. We still want to get that competition in. And so that's what makes us so great, is that we can still get our competition in at a high level and still live our lives on the side without having to worry about having, you didn't play 3 or 4 games in a week. Well, that's not a problem here. We get our 1 game in a week, and I feel like that makes every game all the more important. So, yeah, that's essentially that's what makes this league so special. We're all grown people, professional jobs and lives, but we still love our football, and we're very active and very committed to each other.
Amen. And that's huge in the franchise world. You know what I'm saying? That pace is real big for, like you said, for adults, for grown people that have an outside life outside of gaming. Not saying that everybody spends all their time gaming, but I can, attest to that. Specifically, when I took off, I had to go away for obligation for about 3 to 4 months, and in another league you'd be replaced with no problems. But you guys, kept my team there, and I was able to come back to them and pick up as if I never left. And that's just a testament of how you guys are with your commitment to your users. So, and that's real big. So, and I want to thank you for that. All right.
Absolutely.
So, August 23rd. Forgive me, August 17th. If you have EA access, Madden 17 comes out. How excited are you about the latest installment?
Oh man, I'm stoked about it. They've really made a huge jump here in the past year, I feel like, as far as the new engine, the new possibilities of this new generation of systems. They've really made the game more balanced, I feel like, specifically. In older generations, it felt like offensively you could get a speed demon like a Latavius Murray, for example, and run for 3,000 yards with them in a single season, just using a couple plays based on his speed. Or you could have like a Randy Moss character who's just so fast and big, and just such high ability points that there was really no way of stopping him. His defense AI just wasn't up to par yet, to the point that they could actually stop him. But now I feel like EA has really made some huge strides over the past couple years in kind of evening that scale. And this year, with the new defensive back AI improvements and double team mechanics, I feel like we can really see more parity and maybe more even playing field here between the teams that value defense over offense and those that value offense over defense. So that's going to be really exciting to see how that progresses.
Yeah, you hit all of them on the head, man. This year is going to be, I think, a lot more towards defensive-driven players. A lot of guys that value that zone concepts or do manual, assignments with quarterback and safeties. I think they're going to make a huge difference in this year's installment, so I'm looking forward to it. Now, as we speak, MLDF specifically, looking at this upcoming season, are there any teams that you're excited to see, any users that you're looking to see?
Yeah, well, I mean, naturally, the Cowboys are a big one. The Cowboys are, of course, one of our most famous teams, America's team, former league champions in this league, as in real life. And we've had issues actually finding solid and stable Cowboys ownership here over the previous couple years as an online league. And I'm excited to have Marquise on board. He came in with your friends, and you all have been great members, great additions to our league, made our league much more competitive and better. I'm actually excited to see how Marquise and the Cowboys are going to excel in this league and compete in the division with a former conference champion, Philip Johnson, the Eagles owner, who's actually also returned during the season after a year hiatus. So I'm really excited about that. Also excited to see how, of course, your battle in the AFC South is going to go with the Titans owner, Jonathan, who dominated that division last year just from start to finish. So it should be interesting to see how that battle goes. And, of course, Brandon and Travis are new teams, too, with Arizona and Baltimore, respectively. And Baltimore, he'll have his hands full with Jay Garcia in the AFC North. Pittsburgh, of course, won the division a couple years ago. Jay was out last year. He's back this year, so it should be interesting to see how he and Travis kind of battle that out in that division and make that Steelers-Ravens rivalry all the better. And, of course, Brandon in the NFC West against Scott Bramhill has been dominating that division since he pretty much stepped foot in our league about 4 years ago. It should be interesting to see him get some, real tough competition this season. So, yeah, lots going on in this league and lots of great new rivalries. Hopefully they will come about and lots of great competition.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. I think in our first conversation, I told you I was bringing some players over to the league, and I'm just glad that we're able to come in, compete, and make it fun again. With Travis leaving the NFC like he did and going back to Baltimore, that does open the gateway for another NFC champion. So whether they go back to Seahawks or I see you in Green Bay, you take it, or Brandon may surprise you guys in Arizona, or Marquise. I forgot about him with the Cowboys. So it's definitely going to be fun to watch that division, that conference unfold. So in closing, is there any other closing statements you want to make about the upcoming league?
Yeah, well, it's going to be an exciting season, I tell you. We're going to try to get our streaming situation kind of cleared out this year and kind of more streamlined and workable, so we can have our games the weeks that we had last year. Usually have 2 a week, highlighting our best 2 games of the week. Try to get those more streamlined, stabilized this year, so we could have better streams and hopefully more viewers to that. And otherwise, it's going to be an exciting season. We have the Digital Sports Nation page up, which will highlight all the big news, the breaking injuries and whatnot that happen in the league, any transactions. And it should just be an exciting season overall. Excited to see how the league's going to grow this year, and can't wait for it to get here.
I hear you. August 23rd is right around the corner. Preseason football picks up soon, so it's definitely going to come by fast. And when it does, I can't wait to hit the ground running. So, Mr. Downs, I appreciate you coming on the show with us on our first episode. Spending some knowledge to us and just letting us know about the league.
Thank you very much, Rod. Thank you for having me.
I know, anytime, man. So hopefully I have you on sometime later on one of our Team Outlook segments so you can talk about your Packers, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely, man.
That was good talk with the commissioner. Take a look at what we got coming up next week's episode. We're going to get in some of the teams that are on the rise, 2 bowl teams that I think we can break through next year. We also going to get into a couple of contenders and pretenders, teams that may just be faking the funk, and some teams that we really need to look out as we get into the 2016 MLDF season. I'm your host, Rod Murray. This has been the MLDF Network. See you next week.